I'm Chloe Anello from Scholastic Kids Press Corps, and I'm here with the world's tallest man. I'm here with Sultan Kosen, the tallest man in the world, and his interpreter, Kelly. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of being so tall?
Okay, well, there are a lot of advantages of being tall. I can see everyone from a long distance. The other things are that at home, my mum uses my height to hang curtains, change the light bulbs, and get rid of the cobwebs up on the ceilings. There's also a lot of disadvantages. One of the biggest disadvantages is I can never get clothes to fit me. Everything has to be tailor-made, and it takes time, and they're not always the most fashionable. Whenever I have shoes made, it takes a couple of months for them to make them, and they're not necessarily the greatest shoes. And I've never had an opportunity to wear any sports shoes either. The other disadvantage is that I can never fit into a normal car.
So do you ever wish that you were an average size, or do you like being tall?
No, I mean, I'm now proud of being this tall. I've never really thought about being any shorter because this is my height. I'm proud of it.
Is there any joint pains that go along with being so tall?
I get particular pain in my knees, and about a year and a half ago one of my knees dislocated and I had to have surgery on that, and I was in hospital for about 6 months. So since then I've had to use the crutches, but hopefully once my knee gets better I won't have to use them anymore.
Most house heights are 8 feet tall. As your own home, are the walls taller, or are they average height?
No, our house is normal, so I have to bend down through the doors, and I'm hoping that eventually one day I'll be able to get a house that fits me, a car that fits me, and some clothes that fits me.
You can find Sultan Huzan on page 73 of the new Guinness Book of World Records 2010. I'm here with Craig Glunday, Editor-in-Chief of Guinness Book of World Records. What are some of the most interesting world records you've ever witnessed?
Ever witnessed? Gosh, I mean, well, you just met Sultan Kosen, the world's tallest man. He's pretty interesting. Why he's more interesting than the last tallest man, who was only 7'9", is that Sultan's the first man over 8 foot, the first person over 8 foot that we've measured in 20 years in Guinness. And we only know of 10 other people in history who are that tall, confirmed to be that tall. So it's a really exciting record.
Do you ever find you go someplace and then a person fails at a record?
2 years ago I went to Mexico to weigh the world's biggest bowl of soup. It's this huge big meat soup made from beef and chilies and stock. It was enormous. It was like the size of a fountain you would get outside a building. And they got the record, and they spent $100,000 making the soup. And then 1 week later, in Romania, someone made a bigger bowl of soup. So they didn't make it into the book. And then a week after that, someone in Venezuela made an even bigger soup. So that was, I think 2007 was the year of the soups. And they didn't, only one made it into the book. So.
How many judges are there that go around the world to experience these records?
Well, the good thing about working for Guinness World Records is that everyone who works in the company gets trained up to be a judge, so even the receptionist through to the president of the company. There are a few basic things to learn, like how to measure someone, like for example the tallest man. You have to learn the measurements and how to do it, and also how to use the equipment. So for example, how to use a sound meter. So we did the loudest belch, which is a man called Paul Hunt in the UK, who does 107 decibel belch. But to test it, you have to use the special sound meter. So you have to be trained specially to use that. So it takes a bit of time, and also experience helps. The more you do, the easier it becomes to spot when people are cheating.
About how many new records do you get each year?
Well, we get about probably between 3,000 and 4,000, I think, new ones each year. Of that, most get in the book. We only have room in the book for about 4,000 records. And people still want the classic records. They want the tallest man ever, Robert Wadlow. They want to know Everest, which is the highest mountain. So we have them, and there's about 1,000 of those, 3,000 new. But that's from 1,000 claims a week. So you imagine how many we reject The team that spend most time just saying no with a big stamp on it that just says no. And but the 3,000 that we get in the book, we're guaranteed are the best in the world. So it should be the cream